Hey guys, it's Logan here from CodeBox.ca. Welcome to the second tutorial. We're going to jump right in and we're going to start learning some basic HTML tags and how to get everything set up, how to get your home page set up, stuff like that. So right now, this is what we left off with. We have our first website in the title and we put in our name or whatever you put in this div. So right now I'm going to go through what NetBeans gives you when you first open a file. So the first line says doc type HTML. Basically this just tells your web browser that the code is looking at when it loads the web page is HTML. If it didn't have that, it probably would still figure it out, but it's still good to have. And then you also have this HTML tag, which is the same, basically the same thing. The head tag, this is all stuff that's not going to be visible on your website. So this is visible in the tab but not on the actual website. And this stuff is more for mobile browsers. This is kind of stuff you don't need to have that. NetBeans just throws it in there to be nice. Basically, Viewport gets the the dimensions of your web browser and kind of formats stuff to around that. So if you're on mobile, it will set your scale, stuff like that. The body tag is going to hold all of your visible HTML. So anything that you want visible on the website, most of it's going to be in your body. By the way, tags are anything inside of these triangle brackets. That's what I'm going to be calling them, triangle brackets. And then inside this we have a div. We're going to go into that later. So for right now we're going to delete this. Alright, so one of the main things that websites have are titles, so like the big text, things that really pop out at you, and these are called headers in HTML. And to get these, you use a triangle bracket and you go H1, or if you just type H, you can see there's H1 to 6. They go into ascending order, so H1 will be your biggest, H2, H3, they all go down in size. We're going to use H1 right now. And as you can see, NetBeans automatically gives you the option to add a close H1 tag. So if you just hit enter, it adds it in there. If not, you can easily type it in just like that. So this is going to make a header for you. Anything inside of these two tags is going to be a header. So I'm going to type in this is a header 1 exclamation mark. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to save this. We're going to go to our directory, which we have right here. We're going to go to our index.html. So I don't know if you remember the text from the last website, from the last tutorial, but this is a lot bigger, and that is because this is a header. So this says this is a header 1, which is exactly what we have inside. So if we change this to H2, save and refresh, you can see that our font got a little bit smaller. If you go down, these keep getting smaller and smaller. So what we're going to do, we're going to change this back to an H1. I'm going to put CodeBox tutorial. Alright, so a lot of the time underneath your headers you'll have like a paragraph or like smaller text. What you do here is you type P. P stands for paragraph. So anything inside these paragraph tags is going to be smaller text. So I'm going to just type in a little thing. Welcome to CodeBox.ca. I hope that you enjoy these tutorials. Apparently I can't type or spell. Tutorials. And we're going to save that. We're going to go to our website. We're going to refresh. And you can see this changed back to an H1, and everything under in the P turned into a little bit of a smaller font. So basically this is our header, this is our paragraph. We're going to go back here. We're going to do a little bit of text formatting. Say we want CodeBox.ca to be bold. What we can do is go bracket, B, bracket, and then end bracket where we want it to stop being bold. So anything in between these B tags is going to be bold. So if we're going to save, we're going to refresh, and CodeBox.ca goes bold. We can do italics, so we'll say we want tutorials to be in italics. We you do a I. I stands for italics, obviously. So if we refresh, tutorials goes in italics. There's a bunch of other text formatters we can do. We're not going to really go into it because they're not used too often. It's an easy Google search if you want to know how to do that. Another pretty important thing is lists. Lists are used for navigation, basically whenever you want a list of something. So there's two types of lists. There's unordered lists, UL, and you can see, I'm just going to space this out so you guys can see a little better. So UL and UL, and then there's also called OL, ordered list. So, whoops, what did I do? There we go. So we have unordered lists and our ordered list. So basically inside of these lists, for every element that you want in the list, you have to go LI. LI stands for list item. So we're going to name LI item 1, and then you can just make another one right underneath it. Item 2. Item 3. So we're going to have 3 items in this list. And do you know what we're going to do actually? We're going to put a header on top of this. So we're going to put an H2 on top, and we're going to name this unordered list. And then what we're going to do for this one is do another H2 and name this ordered list. And I'm going to copy and paste our 3 items from there, paste them in this. So this is going to show us the difference between an unordered list and an ordered list. So if we hop over here, refresh, you can see our unordered list and our ordered list. Our unordered list just uses bullets. Again, everything in HTML can be edited, so we can get rid of these bullets, we can make them line up, we can do a whole bunch of stuff. Ordered list has numbers beside it. Generally I use unordered lists. I don't know, I don't really like having these bullets beside them, but lists are handy in some situations. So just keep in mind, ordered lists gives you numbers, unordered lists give you just bullets. Okay, so now that we have all this stuff going, we have our header, a paragraph, and our ordered lists, we are going to make a new page. So we're going to right click source files, new, HTML file. Let's name this contact. This will be like a little contact page or an information page. You don't have to name it contact, you can name it whatever you want. So as you can see, it gives us the new contact.html tab up here. Again, we can delete those 4 lines. We're going to change the title to say contact, and we're going to delete this div. We're not going to worry about those right now. So on this, we're going to put a header, and it's going to say contact us. Cool. So you might be wondering how we're going to get to this page from the home page. Obviously we can go into our directory and just open it right up. We have our contact page, but that's not how websites work. To do this, we use things called anchor tags. Anchor tags are represented by an A. So we're gonna wrap our A tag around one of our list items. It doesn't matter which one. As you can see, it's underlined red, and that's because we're missing a part. We need to specify where this link goes. So to do this, we type the letters href. This stands for, I think, HTML reference. I'm not 100% sure actually what href stands for, but it's a reference to the page that you want to link to. So since we want to go to our contact.html page, inside our reference we're going to type contact.html. And I don't know why it is, okay. Do you know what we need to do? We need to put the A inside of the list item. I'm sorry. Inside of the list item tags. Sorry about that. So we have li, and then our anchor tag, and then our end li. So this will create a link around item 1 that leads to contact.html inside of our ordered list. So if we save this, hop over here, refresh, you can see that our item 1 got underlined and turned that little purple color. Again, this can be changed. We'll worry about that later when we get to styling. So if we click this, it'll bring us right to our contact us page. Awesome. So what we can do is we're going to change this to say contact. We're going to make a new HTML file, and we're going to name this about. And again, we're going to change the title to say about us. And we're going to delete this div. We're going to save. We're going to go back to our index. We're going to change this to say about us. Please keep in mind that all of your file names inside of these hrefs are case sensitive. So if this here said contact with a capital C and you didn't put a capital C here, it would not work. So what we're going to do, we're going to wrap our about us with an anchor tag. So we're going to go a href equals quotation mark. Inside the quotation marks, you can see that NetBeans brings up a list of things that you can connect to. So we want to go to about and our tag, and then we need and a at the other side of about us. So once again, anything inside of these a tags is going to be linked to about.html. We're going to save. We're going to make one more HTML file. Let's name this, I don't know, products. Let's say we're going to sell something. And you generally don't put capitals in my file names. Sorry about that. Usually keep all of your file names all lowercase. I'm going to change this to products. And actually we're going to go in here and put in a header that says products. I forgot to do that in this one. Put a header in our about us that says about us. Don already has contact us. Perfect. Alright, so item 3 we're going to change to products. Oops. We're going to wrap it in an anchor tag A, and then an end A, and then we're going to href it to products.html. We're going to save this. We're going to refresh, and as you can see, our unordered list got changed. The contact us goes to the contact us page. About us goes to our about us page, and our products go to our products page. So this is kind of how a navigation system works. If we go to the CodeBox website, you can see this is just a list. That's all this is, a list with a bunch of hrefs. So this goes to tutorials.php. This goes to index.php. That's exactly what we have here, except this is just styled. Whoops, I'll close that. Alright. So what we're going to do now is we're going to learn about images and how to link an image onto our page. Alright, so I have a CodeBox logo. We are going to go into our CodeBox website directory. And as you can see, it made all of our files that we made in NetBeans. And remember the images folder we made. What we're going to do is we're going to drag any image inside of there. So mine is named logo background.png. Oh, I'm going to copy this back. Okay, so now inside of our CodeBox website images folder, we have a file called logo/png. This can be any file type, any image file type, I should say, any size, doesn't matter. We're just going to play around with it for now. So we're going to go back to NetBeans, and if you expand our images folder, you can see that it automatically updates to have logo bg.png. So since we are not using this unordered list, we're going to delete that, and we're going to change this to say logo. So to include images inside of your HTML is actually very, very simple. You use the Img tag. The Img tag does not have an end Img tag. It'll underline it. You do not need an end Img because you're not actually putting any text in between it. But what you need to do is link it to the file. So it's kind of similar to this href, except instead of href, it's src for source. So source equals, and since it's in our image directory, we need to type images / and then our exact file name. So it's going to be logo::bg.png. Do not forget the file extension. And also it's going to get mad at you, and I'll explain why. You don't need, so once you get that, we're going to go back here and we're going to refresh. You can see it throws our logo in there. It's that simple to get an image. Resizing it will go more in depth in another tutorial when we get to styling. For right now, we're just going to get we just got our image in here. So the reason it's underlined is because it wants an alt. It's going to say an image element must have an alt attribute. Just another little quick tip. These little extenders onto your tags are called attributes. So this is a source attribute. This is an href attribute. We need an alt attribute. And basically what an alt attribute is text that will be displayed instead of the picture if the web browser can't find the picture. So we're going to name this can't find picture. Sure, sorry, I can't spell. So basically that will not change our website at all. If I refresh, our image still stays there. But let's say that we accidentally typed in our file name wrong. We'll say logoy.pg.png. If we go back here and refresh this, it shows our alt tag, or our alt attribute I should say, can't find picture. So basically that's just a little backup. Google uses these alt tags for searching for what's it called? For search engine optimization. So when it crawls through your through your code, it doesn't look like your source, it looks like your alt. So generally you want your alt to say something that's similar to the picture. So we'll say CodeBox tutorial. We're going to change this back to logo.bg. And if we refresh, our logo is back. Okay, so let's say we want this image, our CodeBox image, to link to our products page. Basically, all you got to do is wrap it inside of your special anchor tags. So you can wrap this whole image in an A and A, and we can do the exact same thing. href equals products.html. We're gonna save. If we go back here, our image is now a link to products.html. The image still is the exact same, looks the exact same, except when you hover over it you get the little pointy finger instead of the arrow pointer. So that's kind of cool. So that's how you link images to different pages. Another thing I want to go over quick before we end this tutorial is how HTML handles your text. So let's say I put a whole bunch of spaces in here, like that. Your HTML only picks up the first space after. So everything after this all is ignored. So if we go back here and refresh, you can see that all of that empty blank space is ignored. And we can prove this. We'll put a couple characters right here. We'll put XXXX. So if we refresh this, you can see it only preserves a single space. There is ways to space this out, and we'll go over that in a different tutorial. But just keep in mind that if you're trying to format your web page by using spaces, it will not work. So it only keeps a single space. Even if I only have 2 spaces, it only shows a single space here. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. You guys can go ahead and get a basic website set up with your headers, your paragraphs, and your lists, and also your images and anchor tags. These are the most basic HTML elements. They're very, very simple to use. They can be styled very easily to make it look nice. I know our website right now looks like crap. You would never put this online, but you gotta start somewhere, right? I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please leave a like and comment. If you have any questions, send me an email or comment. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you guys for watching,